Let us set the scene, because the writers of Beyond the Gates just delivered a masterclass in suspense, tension, and psychological warfare. Imagine waking up in the dead of night. The world is completely silent, save for the ominous, muffled rustling of belongings coming from your living room. You are alone in the dim, suffocating shadows of your apartment. Most people would cower under the covers, reach for their phones, and dial emergency services. But Deanna McBride is not most people. She is a survivor, a grieving daughter, and a young woman who has been hardened by the toxic, manipulative games played by the adults in her life. She did not freeze. She did not hide. Trembling but fueled by pure adrenaline, Deanna gripped a baseball bat tightly, crept silently toward the noise, and prepared to deliver a fatal blow to the intruder's head. This opening sequence is nothing short of cinematic brilliance. It completely flips the traditional damsel in distress trope on its head. Deanna is proactive, fierce, and ready to defend her territory. But right as she is about to swing that bat and potentially end a life, a flashlight beam flickers wildly across the room, illuminating the panicked, terrified face of the burglar. And who is it? It is not a random thief looking for jewelry. It is not a masked assailant. It is Randy Parker? Yes, Randy. The bumbling henchman, the deceitful cousin, the man who is currently juggling more criminal conspiracies than he has brain cells to manage. Shocked, furious, and still gripping that bat like a weapon of war, Deanna demands to know why he is sneaking around her home like a common criminal in the pitch black. And this is where the scene shifts from a terrifying thriller into a brilliant display of character incompetence and psychological. Randy, absolutely dripping in nervous sweat, stammers out the most pathetic, illogical excuse in the history of daytime. He quickly fabricates a story claiming that he was simply looking for some documents for Vanessa and didn't want to turn on the lights or make noise because he didn't want to wake Deanna up. Let's just pause right here and unpack the sheer, unadulterated absurdity of this lie. Make it make sense. Who in their right mind sneaks into an apartment in the dead of night in the pitch black using a flashlight to rifle through personal belongings just to find documents for someone's mother? If Vanessa needed paperwork, she would have called. If Randy was sent on a legitimate errand, he would have knocked on the door, turned on the lights, and announced his. The lie is so incredibly flimsy, so desperately constructed in the heat of the moment, that it is almost insulting to Deanna's intelligence. And trust me, Deanna is far too smart to buy a single word of it. But why is Randy sweating so profusely? Why is he panicking like a cornered rat? To understand the true depth of this scene, we have to look at the bigger picture and analyze the insane amount of pressure Randy Parker is currently under. The man is living a double life that is rapidly spiraling out of control. On one hand, he is actively conspiring with his cousin, Haley Hamilton, to slowly poison Bill Hamilton to death for a massive life insurance pay. That alone is enough to give anyone a nervous breakdown. But on top of that, he is running dangerous, off-the-books errands for Joey Armstrong, the casino boss with deep ties to the criminal underworld. Randy is spread completely thin, and this botched break-in is the ultimate proof that he is cracking under the immense weight of his own crimes. Here is the absolute kicker, the dark, twisted truth that makes this scene so incredibly chilling. We know from the timeline that Randy was not looking for documents. He was not there on a harmless errand for Vanessa. Joey Armstrong explicitly ordered Randy to get Deanna's blood to extract information. Let that sink in for a moment. Joey ordered his henchmen to obtain biological material from a young woman. How exactly was Randy planning to execute this deranged mission while she slept? Was he going to prick her finger in the dark? Was he trying to plant a listening device? Was he looking for a hairbrush to steal DNA? The sinister, invasive implications of Joey's orders elevate this scene from a simple break-in to a profound violation of Deanna's safety and sanity. This brings us to the core of the conflict, Joey Armstrong's spiraling paranoia. Joey is a man who usually operates with cold, calculating precision, but right now, he is terrified. He recently discovered a damning letter hidden in Doug McBride's camping gear, a letter that explicitly blames Joey for Kenny's murder and states that if Doug dies, Joey is the one responsible. Ever since reading that letter, Joey has been haunted by the ghost of Doug McBride. He is convinced that Deanna is a Trojan horse, pretending to accept him at family dinners while secretly orchestrating a master revenge plot to destroy him from the inside out. Joey's fear is making him sloppy. Sending a clumsy, stressed-out henchman like Randy to sneak into Deanna's apartment in the middle of the night is a massive tactical error. It proves that Joey is losing his grip on his empire, allowing his paranoia regarding Doug's ghost to dictate his moves. And, ironically, by sending Randy to spy on Deanna, Joey has just handed Deanna the exact ammunition she needs to confirm her worst suspicions about him. We also have to talk about the emotional betrayal embedded in this scene. The writing here is incredibly sharp because it plays on the established history between Randy and Deanna. Just days ago, these two shared a seemingly tender moment in a booth at Uptown. Randy hugged her, praised her maturity, and bonded with her over how much they both missed Doug. They looked at old videos together. Randy acted like a supportive, grieving friend. To go from that warm, emotional connection to breaking into her home in the dark on the orders of the man who likely killed her father, it is a staggering level of betrayal. How will Deanna process? She is a young woman who has already lost so much, and now she realizes that the people she thought she could trust are actually pawns in Joey's sick game. But if there is one thing we know about Deanna, it is that she does not break easily. She is currently being guided by the ghostly visions of her father, Doug, who has advised her to play it smart, keep her enemies close, and use Joey's arrogance against him. This botched break-in is a massive advantage for Deanna. She now knows definitively that Joey doesn't trust her and that Randy is doing his dirty work. She didn't buy the document's excuse for a millisecond, but she is smart enough to let Randy think he got away with the lie. She is playing chess while Randy and Joey are playing checkers. And where does Vanessa fit into this chaotic web of lies? Vanessa is currently living in a state of willful delusion. She is desperately clinging to the fantasy that Joey is a reformed, loving partner who will provide her with the stable family life she craves. She has been pushing Deanna to accept Joey, forcing awkward family dinners and preaching about forgiveness. But what happens when Deanna tells her mother that Joey's right-hand man broke into their apartment in the middle of the night? Will Vanessa finally wake up and smell the toxicity, or will she blindly defend Joey and accept Randy's flimsy excuse about the document? Vanessa's blindness is becoming her tragic flaw, and it is only a matter of time before it costs her the relationship with her daughter entirely. The power dynamics in Fairmont Crest have officially shifted. Randy sneaked into that apartment thinking he was the predator, cloaked in darkness and operating on the orders of a powerful boss. But the moment that flashlight flickered, and he found himself staring down the barrel of Deanna's baseball bat, he became the prey. Deanna holds all the power now. She has the physical upper hand, the moral high ground, and the intellectual advantage of knowing exactly what Randy and Joey are up to. This scene is a turning point for Deanna McBride. She has officially transitioned from a grieving, reactive character into a proactive, dangerous player in the Fairmont Crest games. She is no longer just Doug's daughter. She is a force to be reckoned with. She looked fear in the eye, gripped her weapon, and demanded answers. Randy's sweaty, panicked face is a symbol of the crumbling facade of Joey's empire. What is the next move? Will Deanna use this break-in to drive a wedge between her mother and Joey? Will she blackmail Randy, knowing he is weak and easily manipulated? Or will she keep this secret close to her chest, waiting for the perfect moment to strike when Joey least expects it? One thing is absolutely certain. Joey Armstrong sent a boy to do a man's job, and he severely underestimated the fierce, unyielding strength of Deanna McBride. The ghost of Doug McBride is not just haunting Joey's mind. It is living and breathing in the fierce determination of his who is really the cat and who is the mouse. Keep your bats ready, because the games have only just begun.